What time? Exactly on 1. Here we go. Just gotta make sure that everyone can hear everything properly. You've got screaming fans already. So, that's good. We are live now. Hopefully everyone's filing in to watch. If not, no big deal. Now for those of you in the chat, can you hear me properly? Can you hear the shoot man properly? Is everyone is everything sort of alright? Benny's in. Tell you what, we'll kick it off just in 5 to let people file in. Just want to make sure that everything is working. Everything is... Party sounds weird. It's because he's got a quiet mic. Music too loud. Okay. I've got the music literally as low as I can probably make it. Let me see if I can put it lower. Okay, I'm gonna put it on 2. Sweet Lab too loud. What are you talking about? Sweet Lab could never be too loud. Right, how about that? Is that alright, guys? I think my mic's also bottoming out. Should probably fix that. There we go. That should be a bit better. A lot better. Alrighty. Okay, another 2 minutes before we start. We'll let people file in a bit more. Alright. Fix Man Party though. I don't think Man Party can be fixed. You're probably still too quiet. If anything, yeah, just a bit quiet. Sounds a bit tinny. Actually, I should grab my drink too. Yeah, it's probably me. I'll see if I can boost you up on Discord, but I don't think I can do much more on my end. Voice video. Yeah, you're as high as you can go. Hang on, let me... Okay, try now. I've just turned my mic, my volume to max. Hopefully that's better for the chat. I don't know. It's like we're listening to Man Party through your speakers. Oh, should be the desktop audio. Okay, okay, I'll lower my mic. I should probably be using headphones, but I didn't bring any to this house, so whoopsies. Can you hear him though? Hopefully you guys can hear him. Toot. No, I can't hear him. Oh my god. That's annoying. Okay, so there's a loop back from my speakers. Fuck. Okay, yeah, because I'm putting you on externals. Hang on, I'll see if I can grab some headphones and maybe that'll fix it. Give me 2 seconds. Have you got headphones? Supposed to be a professional, but unfortunately, I'm out of practice, so it's been a while. Because I can hear you fine, everyone else is struggling a bit. Make sure that, P-Man. Yeah. So I'm just doing desktop out. It should be fine through desktop out. That's what I've always done. Properties.
Did you want to try this? The left ear.
Hang on. Okay, try now. See if that helps. Can you say something?
Is this better?
Is that better, guys?
Do I sound better now?
It looks a lot louder on the desktop audio.
Hopefully.
I'm waiting for confirmation though. Much. Way better. Okay, I think we're good.
Thank God.
We're all good. Alright, let's make a start. G'day everyone, DJ DARQs here for another 2DX interview. First one in 3 years. High requests, or a huge request for this one from a lot of people. Here we have a player who's been around for a long time. I don't know exactly when you started, but we're going to find out in the interview. Can you please make welcome DJ ManParty, aka the Shuppe Man, as we know him.
Woo!
There he is. So,
hello everyone.
what I want you to do is just give us a brief introduction to yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? Etc.
So yeah, I am ManParty. Actual name's Jon Shuppe. I've been playing since 2004. I'm fucking old. I've been playing this game like half my life.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, whereabouts are you from in the world?
I am from Omaha, Nebraska. There's nothing here. There's no scene. It's just me.
It's just you. Wow. So,
pretty much, yeah.
Now, I'm from Australia, so I have no idea about any of the states in America. Whereabouts is that located? Is it like middle of America or East Coast, West Coast?
Yeah. Smack dab middle of America, like in the middle of a cornfield. My neighbor's a cow.
Are you actually out country, or are you in a city?
No, I'm in a city. I just like to joke because I'm in fucking Nebraska. Like, who knows anything about Nebraska?
So let me get this right. So you have no other 2DX players in your area. You're the only one.
I mean, I think there's one other player. I don't really talk to him.
Wow.
I'll just leave it at that.
Alright, well, in that case, I do have to ask then, how on earth did you get into a game like 2DX in a place so far from Japan and any of those influences?
So we used to have an arcade that was like an awesome Bamani arcade, like one of the best back in the day. It was Family Fun Center. We had 4 DDR machines. We had Drum Mania, Guitar Freaks, Keyboard Mania, 2 Para-Paras that were connected. Wow. Samba de Amigo. We eventually got Poppin' and Pump. Like, yeah, for a while it was amazing. And 2DX, of course. That's how I got into the game. We had an actual machine.
So, when was the first time you played then, like date-wise? Do you remember like the exact time when you started?
I mean, I want to say it was 2004. I thought about it the other day, and I'm pretty sure it was 2004. I mean, it could have been even 2003. Because basically, I got into DDR, and that was the place to play DDR. And of course, 2DX was always there, and I'd always see it. And every once in a while, I'd kind of try to play it, but I was awful, and it was super hard.
Oh, yeah. So what was the music game scene like back then, like 2003, 2004, in that area? Like, obviously you had an amazing arcade, so did it pull a lot of people?
Yeah, it was actually pretty great at the time. There's a lot of people. The arcade actually had a One Token Wednesday thing. Oh. So every Wednesday it was basically a quarter to play any game. So everyone would show up that day. Like, the coin lines would be full, like, there'd be 10 people waiting to play DDR or 2DX or anything, and it was a really cool scene at the time.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like our local arcade. We also had a $1 Tuesday, so everything was, well, like your quarter was $1 to play 2DX or DDR, which is normally $2. So everyone would go on those days, same thing. You just have all the regulars showing up on those days. So, did you meet any other players at that point, like any other 2DX players that influenced you to get into it, or was it just sort of a thing you fell into?
Oh no, there's a lot of players. I mean, by today's standards, everyone then was god awful. I mean, I was super impressed that this guy could pass Quasar 7 key. Oh yeah. That was like, holy shit, that's amazing.
So it sounds like you started around the same time I did. So you were playing what, 9th or 10th style at the time? 10th style, right?
Well, I guess we actually skipped 9th and 10th. We originally had 8th arcade, and then we eventually got Red, and that was just incredible. Like, 8th style was cool and all, but it looked like shit. When we got Red, it looked so much better. It really got me to play the game. It
was the same thing for us. We started with 10th style, and when we upgraded to Red, it was well, as the name implied, revolutionary. It really did change the game a lot. And it did bring a lot of people in, I found. So, was it the same thing with you? Once Red came, did you just see this huge influx of players, or was it...
Oh yeah, like everyone that kind of sort of dabbled, played every now and then, really kind of got into the game, and it really got people playing it, actually.
That's really cool to hear. So did you go and hang out with guys and play a couple of games and then, like, you know, really sort of develop a local community from that?
Oh yeah, it was pretty deep at the time. I mean, they had the promotion thing, the One Token Wednesday, for years and years. I went consistently almost every week for probably 3 years.
Wow, it sounds about the same as me, like almost exactly the same parallel story. So
nice.
Yeah, so you're playing, what, once every week at that point?
Yeah, pretty much at arcade once a week. I mean, I was still more of a DDR player than 2DX player for the longest time.
Oh, yeah?
I really didn't get really into 2DX until I started, until I got a KOC and played at home as well.
So when did you get your first KOC?
That was probably 2005. Whenever 10 Style came out, I got my KOC like a week before 10 Style CS came out.
Wow, so literally the same as me, because I got my KOC when it came out, when 10 Style was out as well. Did you have to import it, or did you have like a friend who was like, "Oh, I'm not using it anymore"? Like, how'd you get the KOC?
I don't remember where I bought it. I bought it online, so yeah, I did import it.
Okay, because it was...
Yeah, I bought it new, and it was great. I still have the box for it and everything.
Yeah, I've got the same thing. I had the same thing where I had like the brand new box and, you know, fresh out of the box. How did you find the controller? Did it stick for you out of the box?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. It was awful.
Did you do any of the mods?
Sorry, what?
Did you do any of the modifications, like the Rai mods?
Man, I tried and I sucked. Like, I shaved the keys like terribly, and it still stuck. And everything I did, it didn't work. Like, I tried doing little mods with like coins and cardboard and all that, and just I sucked.
Well, the cardboard mod did help a lot. Like, after doing that, you know, the controller was infinitely better. So, yeah. No, I feel like, you know, at least that made a little bit of a difference, but yeah, overall, you know, you played with what you had at the time.
Yeah, I eventually got a pretty good KOC that my friend in Iowa modded, and he used like the DVD case method, where it was really nice and clicky, but like the keys did not move at all.
No, they don't.
Which, I mean, wasn't really that big of a problem for me at the time. I can't play on it now, of course. Like, I just double hit every note, basically.
Yeah, no, I had the same thing when I went to Japan and tried to mod a controller again. It's just, you get it to that sensitive point, but the keys just do not move. Alright, so on that note of modding, so I'll move on to the next category. So obviously you started playing. How did you discover, like, the online community? Because I know that you're a part of, like, the earlier online community.
I honestly don't remember. I think it was probably word of mouth at the arcade that kind of, oh, hey, you're playing home. Do you put your scores in VJ Army? I'm like, oh, what the hell is VJ Army? Like, oh, it's this big score tracker forum, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I got into it. I mean, to be honest, I never really posted much on the forum. I pretty much just used kind of the score tracker side of it.
Yeah.
I'd post the random accomplishment every now and then, but...
Yeah, I found it much the same, to be honest. But did you meet anyone through VJ Army and that sort of side of the community? Like, is there anyone of note?
Not so much on VJ Army. I used some other forums, like, so I used Air in Japan for a while. More connected with the dance game community, I guess, but I was never really that deep into the community back in the day, honestly. Like, sometimes I would go out and I'd meet people, like, I actually met some cool people. I mean, I was pretty good friends with, like, Blue Mystic and Damien KC. They were big dance game players back in the day.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to say, was there a lot of parallels in your area between, you know, the people who are really good at other music games like ITG and things like that and 2DX? Because I know that Damien did play 2DX for a bit. Was there a bit of overlap?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's a lot of us at the same level at 2DX for a while. Once I got home version and started playing a little bit more, I kind of started to surpass people, and it was cool, but at the same time it was kind of bad because it kind of demotivated some of the people. It was kind of annoying. Some of them kind of got a little salty, like, oh, well, I'd be as good if I played as much as you. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't even play that much.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, at that point, a lot of players started to sort of intimidate other players out of posting scores on VJ Army. That's sort of how you saw that trend where people would only put up like their best scores, and then people would just be like, well, crap, they're really good. But you didn't see the whole plethora where, they're terrible at a certain subset of songs.
Right, yeah, that was a pretty big thing back then.
Yeah, did you find yourself... so after 10th style, did you keep buying every CS style after that?
Oh yeah, the day it came out, I mean, I was the cheap guy that pirated everything and burned them all the DVDs and used swap discs and all that to play everything. So the day the new style came out, I had it and was playing it within hours.
Yeah, I had people online who criticized me for pirating, so I'd be like, hey, I got the new style. And yeah, they'd be like, wait, how'd you get it so quickly? Then they get super mad saying you should be buying it because, you're not supporting Konami, etc. But
I was a kid, like, I didn't have money, I couldn't afford that. My parents wouldn't fucking buy that shit for me.
How old were you when you started playing CS again? So like 2004, 2005?
Yeah, so about 15, 16.
Yeah, sounds about right. Same age as me. So when Empress rolled around, I'm curious, when, VJ Army died off and Solid State Squad came in and you had, the Empress, that sort of era, were you more engaged with the community then online, or did you still keep a distance?
I was completely out the door before Empress came. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the community was dead at DJ Troopers. Like, a couple people played for about a month, but man, like, it was really demotivating for me because around DJ Troopers when I really started getting a lot better, and the community was just not there. Like, that's when I actually wanted to actually get involved with it, and no one is posting. It feels like I'm the only one that's trying to really be there, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, screw this, I'm done.
Oh, that's pretty sad. What about your local arcade? Was that still going at the time?
Around that time, no, it wasn't. At that point, they got rid of the one token Wednesdays. It had been gone for about a year, and that just totally destroyed the community. Like, there's no set day that everyone went. When they did, they didn't want to pay 75 cents to play a song. I mean, before you could take $5 and play all night, and like now you need $10, whatever, and you could kind of play for a while. And I mean, at that point, they weren't maintaining the machines either. It was just kind of crappy. I mean, they had Distorted at the time, which was cool. But those, I mean, when you get used to CS, like, it's really hard to go back to those styles, especially, like, the Red, Happy Sky, and Distorted. The timing was so fucked up.
Yeah, it was. Like, that old timing was so strict. So
yeah, like, I remember I could AAA 11s at home, but then I'd go to the arcade, and the hardest thing I ever AAA'd on that era was Love Shine 7 key.
Yeah, because at the time was just that strict. I think I only ever got 2 AAAs the whole time on that. And that was when, during CS you'd be able to AAA most of the games, so it was a bit of a demoralizer going and doing that. Really sad to hear that your community sort of fell apart. So did you stop playing at that point?
Yeah, I pretty much stopped playing altogether. I sort of played a little bit when Empress came back, but it was literally like a couple days. I didn't even get close to playing through all the tracks.
Oh wow!
I just wasn't that into it anymore. It just I had stopped playing for like 4 or 5 months at that time. It's hard to really jump back in, and I mean the community definitely didn't get revitalized. So it's like what the fuck ever.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I just wanted to go back then to that era where you were playing a lot on CS. One thing I missed was the people around you that motivated you, like, were there any players around you that really drove you to keep going or to get better?
I mean, there's the players that are always a little bit better than me that were always kind of motivating me. I mean, obviously the big players like Hood was super motivating.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day going through, what's his face, Oddity's website that had all the videos hosted, and I remember downloading every single one of Hood's videos and watching every single one, just being blown away by how good the key taps sounded, and just really, really made me want to keep going.
I remember I used to have a morning ritual of just putting Tatsugens on while I got ready for school. So I'm guessing you did the same thing where you just watch those videos over and over to see the good parts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, like I said earlier, like Blue Mystic and Damien, they were like huge motivators for me because I mean, while they weren't really great at hard stuff, like their timing was just insane, and that's what I always wanted to have. Was just that super consistency. I mean, you can even go back to Damien's scores now, and they're still fucking good. Like, he had max -5 on Trigger, max -14 on Wanna Party back in, like, 2008, 2009. It's crazy.
Just disgusting. But yeah, I mean, they just obviously fell off at that harder difficulty where you really needed to push, which is a bit sad.
Right, yeah. I mean, you could tell just by watching them play, they played, like, index and middle on both hands or something. Like, their playstyles sucked.
Yeah, well, back then, you know, players didn't know about playstyle, or players didn't really care about playstyle, so, you know, it wasn't that important, unfortunately. So, did those two just stop playing around Golden Troopers the same time as you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, was that also a contributor then, where you just sort of went, nah, look, everyone's just stopping?
Yeah, pretty much, because it's like, it didn't feel like there was an online community, and even the people I knew in real life weren't even playing either, so it's just, what's the point?
Yeah, no, I can understand that entirely. Alright, and now here's the important question. When did it re-spark for you? When did the spark reignite to come back to the game?
So, I mean, like, over the years, I would play every now and then. I would bust out the PS2 and play a few songs, and okay, that was fun, but I'm not near as good as I used to be. I don't have the motivation to get back to where I was. But when I really got back into the game is when I went down and I actually went to a big tournament down in KC where Damien lived, and they had a 2EX tournament, and they were running Spada at the time. I am just like, wait, what the hell? This is 2DX 21? How the hell do they have this? And someone explained to me P-World and all that. I'm just like, wait, what? Like, this has been going on this whole time, and I'm just like completely fucking oblivious to all of this. Like, holy shit! I need to get back in the game. But then, I wasn't explained the P-Sun part of it. So like, I'm just like, I get back, I'm like, oh, that was so cool. I want to play again. And I'm like, wait a second, I don't have an arcade near me. I can't play Spada or whatever. Like, okay, I guess I'll play CS a little bit, and I mean, I didn't stick with it again. Yeah. But then they had another tournament just a few months later, or maybe half a year later, I don't really remember. But I go down there, and that's when P-Sun is actually explained to me and how everyone's playing at home too and everything. I'm like, wait a second, what? I played like Happy Sky and DJ Troopers, like the hard drives back in the day, and they fucking sucked. Like the timing didn't work at all. And it didn't make any sense to me. But then I go home and I look at P-Sun, I look at the rivalry or the rankings on songs and stuff. I'm like, holy shit! There's like 50 AAAs on AA and other. This is insane. Like people are getting like crazy scores on this. I have to get in on this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's I just dove headfirst. Like I bought a DAO, I bought a PC, I bought a TV, like I bought my own like just standalone setup for the game, and I I just been playing ever since.
So I know that this is something you wanted to touch on when we spoke previously. So once again, the data source at the time was SOS. How did you get into SOS? Like, was it just people from that community that invited you in, or?
So I originally got on SOUS like way back in the day, like before it was even before it was SAOs, it was Control Alt Delete or whatever they called it themselves, Alt Control Delete, or I don't even remember. But I remember I was trying to find music from the Bomani games, and somehow I just stumbled across this tracker that had everything. Like, oh shit, this is awesome. And I'm pretty sure back then you could just like register an account. You didn't need to be like invited or anything. So I already had an account. So by the time I moved to SAOs, I still had an account.
Oh, okay, lucky. So you just got it automatically. So did you start with Tricoro? Because if it was Sparta, it would have been the N-1. So it was Tricoro that you started on?
Yeah, I mean, I barely played Tricoro. I got in at the very end of it. Like, by the time I had my DAO and everything, like, Sparta was, like, just around the corner.
Okay, so you came back basically when Pendule was being released for P World.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So, how did you find it then? So once you got back in, what kept you going from there?
I mean, at that point, so I come back and I have my FPS and I'm playing KOC Spacing and I'm still playing Claw. And I remember actually watching one of your videos where you were talking about like hand technique and everything, and you talk about how KOC Spacing is totally fraud. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I don't want people to think I'm a fraud. I guess I need to change my playstyle. So I revamped everything. I went 1048. I went back to AC spacing, and like there was probably a good 3 months where I was just trying to get back to where I was. But as soon as I got back to where I was, like it went crazy. Like I just got so much better than I ever was. I just kept getting better and better and better. Like every session was just raising everything for felt like 2 years almost. It was great.
Yeah, no, and now you're at the point where you are now, which is just an incredible level, to be honest. Like probably far beyond what I was at my prime. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So
yeah,
So what sort of communities did you get involved with then from that point? So you were playing obviously, but did you participate in any forums or online?
I mean, I would post a little bit on SAOs, but not really. I didn't really like the community there. It was okay, but it just wasn't a 2DX community. Basically, that's what I wanted. Yeah. It's more of just a rhythm game community, I guess. I actually kind of started getting into the community when they introduced streaming on SAOs. I didn't really talk to anyone, but I started streaming pretty consistently. And people would come in and be like, oh, hey, who the hell are you? Like, you're pretty good at this game. And I remember actually the first time I got invited to like a little group was actually was T-Liv. He actually came into one of the things and he invited me to this like Skype group that they had at the time. Oh. And it was okay. Like, I mean, I didn't post a ton in it, but like it was not long after that kind of Discord became the new whole thing, and I was on the Discord 2DX group like day one basically, and I mean that was great for me, honestly. Like it was like the only time I ever actually felt connected to the community.
Okay, so did you get involved with like the international Facebook group or anything like that before that?
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure I was on the Facebook group a little bit, but I mean it's just kind of like you don't have like an open dialogue really. Like sometimes there's like discussion posts, but mostly it's just people. It's like, hey, these are the scores I got. Oh, hey, good job. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. I think you really did miss what I usually refer to as like the golden era of P-World P-Sun, where everything was new, everything was a lot more close-knit, people were a lot more interactive. I think now it's gotten to such a scale that it's difficult to get that sort of personal interaction with members of that community. So you sort of
right, yeah.
Sadly.
I know. I'm pretty bummed I missed it because, like, yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like P-World was really around that long by the time I kind of got back in the community. Yeah. I don't actually really remember when it went down. I mean, it went down during Pendule, I think?
Yeah, so Pendule, sort of mid to end Pendule is when they got the C&D and had to shut it down. But, I mean, the game's still going on, thankfully. You know, there's other sources, there's other places that are providing services. What about now? So what do you feel about sort of post P-World, the Discord sort of era where people are more on forums or live chats there. Like, how do you feel about it now compared to what it was previously on forums?
I love it. I think it's so much better than it ever was. I mean, like I never felt connected to any 2DX community until the Discord era kind of came around.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, VJ Army and Solid State Squad, it just felt abrasive. Like, I mean, there was like the good players all felt like they were in a clique together, and like everyone else was kind of on the outside looking in, sorta.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I felt the exact same way. What about the scene now, like the direction that it's currently going? So you're currently in like the Discord area. Where do you think it's going to go from here?
I mean, I think it's just going to kind of stay the same for a while. I mean, there's a little fragmentation with it right now. I don't get too into all that, but I mean, it's still good. Like everyone's on Discord. I mean, everyone can talk to each other. I mean, the 2DX Discord. I mean, it is what it is, but there's a lot of people. It's a lot of good players are on there. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too. What about the game? So obviously you went from Empress to Sparta, and that's what, like 5 styles worth of content. How did you find the change in the direction of the game in that time?
I mean, it was kind of overwhelming getting used to charge notes. Charge notes were a huge hurdle for me for the longest time. I just remember like playing something like the beginning of Perditus and just not understanding it like at all. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And then scratch songs as well. Those were not a thing when I played. It's like, I mean, there was like Digitank, Watch Out. Because I never even really played Empress. I never even really experienced Naughty Girl then. So I mean.
Oh, wow. So the scratch songs were just like, well, what is this?
Yeah, and they're still like, what is this to me? Like, I suck so bad at them.
What about the progression in difficulty? Because I mean, obviously, back in the day, you just sort of had main Nageki and what was it, Himiko. But now, obviously, once you get to Sparta, you've just got a huge array of 12s. Like, how did you find that?
Oh, it's so much better. It's so much easier to get better at the game. It's like before, it was like there's a lot of 12s, but then the gap between the kind of hard 12s to the actual hard 12s was just, it was huge. It was really hard to kind of bust into like the Nageki and Himiko and those kind of songs back in the day. While now there's actual more even progression up into those songs.
Yeah, and I feel like it is like the best time to get in because you've got so much variety. You're seeing players get good really, really fast because of that.
Right, right.
Do you think that assisted in you coming back? So when you came back and had all this new content to play, did that assist in getting you back to where you were?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there's just so many more songs, and I mean, making up for lost time, going through all these songs I'd never heard of before, and I mean, I still like, I could tell you almost like what song was on what style up until DJ Troopers or Empress. But like my knowledge between Sirius and like Tricoro is like, yeah, those songs are somewhere in there. Can't really tell you what style. They're one of those numbers.
Yeah. What about the music direction? I'm curious about this. Like, how did you find the shift in music from that era, from Empress to Sparta?
I don't dislike the music currently, but I definitely prefer the old music for sure. There's just more variance back then. It just, I don't know, it's just like the music that made 2DX isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
It just all feels more EDM or like DJ Taka, piano trancey, whatever.
Yeah, so you're not seeing stuff like Tak or Slake or, you know, all those classics that you used to see.
Right, like Mr. T and Good Cool and Kubota. Yeah, it's just, there's so much good stuff back then, and now it's just, I mean, there's still good stuff. Like, I still like the music. Like, it definitely hasn't turned me off of the game, but it's still good.
Yeah. What about the direction of the game now? Sort of how we're seeing more sort of J-poppy, I don't know, like Prim style stuff coming into the game. How do you feel about that?
I fucking hate Prim. Like I can't stand it. I don't get the appeal at all. Like Denpa is it's just confusing to me. It's like weird screaming anime dialogue over weird music. I don't. Yeah.
It's not your cup of tea.
It is not at all.
Yeah. What about the direction of charts? Now, obviously, they've started taking those old Black and Others that we thought were just ridiculous back in Empress. They're starting to put that into the game. How are you feeling about the difficulty direction of the game?
I mean, I actually really liked the Black and Others back in Troopers. I mean, that's what helped me get way better. Like, because when Troopers came out, that's when like my skill went from like I was okay to like, oh, I'm actually kind of getting scores now that I'm happy with. But I like the direction for the most part. I feel like wrist meta is like the thing. I mean, it's so much density with scratches now, and it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. But overall, like, do you feel like it's detracting from the game with that difficulty? Do you feel like it's sort of losing? Because I remember Toshio wrote an article about how 2DX is sort of losing its soul for the sake of difficulty. Do you have that sort of same idea or mentality towards that difficulty?
I mean, I kind of agree with that statement, but I don't think it's so much the difficulty. I think it's just kind of the music. The music doesn't really have the soul in it for me anymore. Like, I mean, I don't know, they just feel like the tracks are getting churned out for the most part. Like, there's still some good stuff, but it just, I don't know. I miss the good old days.
You and me both. Alright, so I wanted to move on to the more sort of personal details of you as a player. I've given you the list, so you know all the stuff that's coming up here. So, obviously, from your experience going from when you started on 9th style sort of stuff all the way up until now, do you have a favourite style? Is there one that really stands out?
Probably 9th style, honestly.
9th style?
I love 9th style. Like, just, oh, the music was so good in 9th style. And 9th style, like, I mean, it's what changed, I mean, from going from 8th style to 9th style is just such a huge difference, and just, I mean, just having someone look at one and the other, like, it looks like a completely different era of games.
Yeah, I had the same, and I've also got the feeling that, did you start on 8th, or did you mostly start on 9th?
Really, I mean, I mostly started on Red. I mean, I played some 8th, but I wasn't super into it. But then we got Red, and I was like, whoa, this is a way better looking game. Like, I want to play this a lot more than I ever wanted to play 8th.
Yeah, it's fascinating that you say that, because I usually find that people choose the style they started on as their favourite. Like, there's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of attachment to that first style. It's fascinating that you've chosen 9th in contrast to most other players.
Yeah, I mean, 10th is pretty close to me too, and that was kind of my first CS style for the most part. Yeah. I mean, I played 9th a little bit more than 10th, but initially, like, once 10th came out, I played 10th a shit ton. Like, that was, like, the style I played forever. But then, like, once I played out all that, I started playing some of the older ones, and, like, I love the timing on 9th. Like, it was just a little late and just felt really nice. And then just the music. Like, I just love the music in 9th style.
Yeah, 9th was a really good style. Like, the CS especially was fantastic. So, obviously, we've talked about 9th. I'm curious, that setup that you had previously, you know how you said you bought a setup and a TV and a DAW and all of that stuff. Are you still using the exact same stuff to play now?
Oh god, no. Like, I still have that KOC, but I haven't used it in a long time. I mean, I got a FPS back when I got back into the game.
Yeah.
And I went through basically every controller. Like, yeah, Copula sucks. I don't care. But,
yeah.
No, like, I had an FPS and I liked it, but then I kind of wanted to move something else, and then I went to an FP7, and then I wanted to go to an arcade style, so then I actually got I have a Res now. Wow. That's what I've been playing with.
Jeez, the RES. So what are you running in that at the moment? Like switches, springs, keys, etc.?
I got a 50-60, and then I have Sanwas, and I have an Arson in there.
Okay, so you are running Arson. How do you find the difference between the Arson board and the stock DAO RE board? Because a lot of people say there's not a huge difference.
The funny thing is, I've never used the DAO board. I got my Arson before I got my DAO, so I put my DAO in, or my Arson in, as soon as I got my controller.
So you've never tried the stock DAO analog board at all?
No, I didn't, because when I bought my FPS originally, they didn't have the analog scratch on it. I bought it like weeks before they got the new DAO board, basically.
Oh yeah. So you have only ever played on Arson then? That's what you're used to?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that was a really weird question to have in that block, because it was all like content related, and then I've just got like, what is the hardware? Sorry about that. Going back to the songs, just off the beaten track there. I've got down here, as they revived Expert Mode back in Pendule, which was a 4-song course now. If you had to put together a 4-song course that defined you as a player, what would those 4 songs be?
Ooh, that's so hard. Like, I don't know how you pick 4 songs, but
Well, I gave you 4 days to do it, so it was a song a day.
I know. And I had a hard time thinking of 4, because like I thought of 4, and I'm like, no, those wouldn't be the 4. Like, but I really love the song Cradle. I think that's a super underrated track.
I like Cradle.
I really love Worldwide Love. That's a really, really awesome song.
Yeah. Choice.
Sweet Lab, super great.
I mean, what's playing in the background now?
Right. Have you been playing Sweet Lab this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the only song you had in there, so...
No, it wasn't. That was the second link I sent you. I sent you a huge playlist of songs, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, hey, I forgot Sweet Lab. Go ahead and throw Sweet Lab into the playlist.
I was in a rush. I'm sorry. Your whole interview's been to Sweet Lab. I hope you don't mind. Sorry about that.
Letting me down, man.
All right.
But yeah, dude, Charlotte's a super good song. Orange Lounge, like everything from Orange Lounge. The 2 Eel songs, End of My Spiritually and Astral Voyage, are both super good.
Oh yeah, no, good choices, really good choices. So is that your 4? So you do like Cradle, Sweet Lab.
Cradle, Sweet Lab, Worldwide Love. Marmalade Reverie, I guess, sure.
Very old school track, that's very cool to hear.
Yeah, definitely. Fantasy, I love Fantasy.
Fantasy's an awesome song, I'm so sad they got rid of it. Alright, so on the flip side of that, so those are the songs that, you know, define you and the game for you. What about on the other side where there's some songs that really just do not belong in 2DX? What do you think should just be obliterated from the game and never come back?
I mean, I already kind of talked about it, but Prim and the Dempa songs, I mean, they're just so bad. They're just terrible.
Yeah. Anything else in there?
But, I mean, Diamond Crossing is like the worst thing in 2DX. God, I hate Diamond Crossing. And not only that, but just having to listen to it every time you played Copula, it was just, oh my god.
Yeah, it just destroyed your soul, just crushed you internally.
Yeah. Right. I mean, there's really, like, not a whole lot of songs I really have issues with for the most part.
Yeah, it's just those very minor songs there.
Fax. Fax sucks.
Yeah, Fax shouldn't be in there. That should have just stayed in DDR. But even then, it's questionable in DDR.
Yes, I unironically like 6,000 Changes. It's amazing. It would have been on the playlist and you would have heard it.
It's alright, I'm getting the playlist now so that at least for question time your playlist will be going.
Awesome.
What about, song aside, what are some charts that you absolutely love playing? What are like some of the charts that you're like, I have to play that if I'm playing?
It's kind of a weird one, but I really love the chart to that Swingholic song on Pendule.
Sweet.
Love that chart. Yeah, the Swingholic, it's that weird, goofy, like 234 BPM. I can't even, it's like something Travelogue. I can't remember what it's actually called.
Oh god, that thing's so hard to type.
Oh, I love it. It's great. I love the weird charts like that, like dual control kind of stuff. I really love the chart to proof of the existence. I think that chart's like perfect.
Yeah.
It's weird because like I like the really goofy swung stuff, but I also like really just easy, straightforward stuff. Like Baram Attack is awesome.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So you're more.
Oh, and actually, the real answer is Fantasy from Four Style. That's like the best one.
Oh, I love Fantasy. It's like the best song and chart. All styles, no question.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So you're more into like the straightforward 16th charts than the technical stuff.
Yeah, like I mean, my big problem is either really heavy charge note songs, really heavy scratch songs, or really dense songs with scratches in them. Like that's just kind of the only charts I really have problems with.
Oh yeah. Right, so we're going to move on just into some general info about you. Do you play 1P or 2P? I've never actually asked this.
I play 1P.
Okay, and why did you choose 1P to start with? Why not 2P?
It was just kind of what everyone did at the arcade at the time. Like, the only people I knew playing 2P were left-handed players. So I just kind of assumed that, oh, if you're right-handed, you play 1P. If you're left-handed, you play 2P.
Yeah,
Which I know that's not really the case, but that's kind of how I perceived it at the time.
Yeah. I loved Tanman's story, how they were like, so why did you start 1P? It was like, oh, that's the way the controller came out of the box, so I just, just stuck with it. Now, technique-wise, you pointed out before that you started playing claw. Was that double claw, or was that claw and thumb, or...?
It was originally double claw, and I brought my thumb in, and once I brought my thumb in, I got way better, but it was still claw, so I mean 1-2 was basically impossible. I don't know how anyone really does that with claw. I didn't do it very well. But yeah, like I said, when I got my Dow, I got shamed into eventually switching my playstyle by you, and then I picked up 1048, but my playstyle now is just, it's 1048, but it kinda sucks. Like, it's this weird combination of, like, 3-5 and God Pinky, but I don't do either of them that well. Like, I can hit index on 3 and scratch at the same time without problems, but anytime it's a tuna scratch, I bring my index up to it and bring my right thumb over to 3.
Yeah.
But then I'm bad at dealing with the 5 key with my right hand at the same time. So it's just it's totally fucked, and it's really kind of holding me back at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big problem that I'm facing at the moment too, which is once you bring that thumb over, it's like, what do I do with the rest of my right hand? Like, how the hell
right.
You just get locked into I don't know what. What about scratching? You said that scratching was also a thing that you struggle a bit. Do you one-hand scratch at all, or do you just pinky scratch everything?
I pinky scratch everything. I can't one-hand, like, I can't one-hand chords. Like, if the chord has a 2 or a 1 in it, like, I cannot one-hand it. Yeah. If it's 3 through 7, I'm totally good. I'm alright, but that 1 and 2's in there, like, I have to hit those with my left hand. Sometimes I can deal with 2, but never 1.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the hardest skills to learn one-handing, so don't blame you whatsoever for that one. What about the screen itself? Do you use lift at all?
I have never messed with lift at all. I do use a lot of Sun Plus though. My white number is like 379, and my green is about 280-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually, so how I play is, like, when I start my session, I play about I start at about 290, 292 green number, and then as I warm up, I start getting a little more fast, and I kind of bring it down. And I usually just kind of dial it in like that. Like, once I stop getting fast, like, I pretty much just kind of leave it. I usually stop around 280, 282.
Okay, fair enough. So you're mostly in the 290s, 280s when you're playing then?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mess with your offset at all, or do you always just leave that constant?
No, my offset is like I'd never touch my offset. I figured it out at some point, and it's honestly a little early. It's probably a little earlier than most people play. It's like plus 1.2, but I feel like that's the most consistent. It feels the most consistent on my setup, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, what about at the arcade? Have you gone to the arcade and played on a round 1 machine?
No, I have since I got back into the game. I have not played on a single arcade game, on like single arcade machine. I've pretty much not played arcades since I was bad at the game.
Oh my god! Wow. So
yeah.
Have you got any interest in doing that, just to sort of see how your setup compares?
Yeah, I definitely do. The only problem is I'm like 8 hours away from every round 1.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I don't. Yeah. There's one in Colorado that's 8 hours. There's one in Illinois that's about 8 hours. One in Texas that's about 10 hours. Apparently, there's supposed to be a round 1 that's coming to our state next year, though. So that's kind of exciting.
So all of you EMU's players, watch out! The shoot man's coming for you.
Yeah, for like the 1 day a month, I might go down and play. Because it's going to be like an hour away from me.
Oh jeez. Alright, so in terms of like game playing now, obviously you are very, very good at easier stuff. Because I've seen some of your scores and gone, that's just disgusting. What would you define as like your strongest area of difficulty for 2DX? Like where do you really sort of shine?
I mean, definitely easy songs. Eighth notes are like free 99% for me. Like I'm good at 16s too, but once it starts getting too dense, like my timing just doesn't really keep up. But like 10s and below are definitely my wheelhouse.
Yeah. So what are some of your more defined accomplishments? Like if you wanted to say, you know, okay, bragging time for you. What are some of those things you really want to let people know you've done? Just
like, bragging time, eh? I have some pretty good 12 AAAs. I've AAA'd like Nageki, Kubelia, Quell, Mendez, Kaiser Phoenix. I have a AAA plus 50 on Blue Spring Express, AAA plus 70 on Proof of the Existence. I got fucking AAA minus 3 on goddamn Daydream.
Oh my god.
I got a 98% on Lucy. That's probably like my best 98 for sure. I exported my scores to see how many 98s I had, and I have about 230 98s and above.
Wow. That's
yeah.
Incredible.
I was surprised by that number.
Yeah, that's amazing. Alright, so conversely, so obviously that's your strong point. What's some of the areas that are really letting you down at the moment in the game?
I kind of touched on it, but scratching for sure. When it either scratch charts like any of the Madism songs, I suck at all of them. I don't have a hard clear on fucking Black or Snake Stick. I can't even comprehend Beachside or Long Train Running. Like I literally flatline and just stay at the bottom like almost the whole track.
Yeah, well you watched me play Beachside recently, you and me both, buddy. I have no idea what's going on in that ending.
I remember, I watched a video where you cleared it one time. I was like, oh shit, like...
I played that for like an hour and a half non-stop to get that cleared, so...
It like motivated me for like a very short period of time. Then I tried to play it again, and I'm like, no, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on here. Like I can't read the scratches and the keys like that at the same time. It just makes no sense to me.
Oh yeah. So, on that note then, what sort of scores are you sitting on at the moment where you're like, man, I really need to raise that? When you think, alright, I'm going into a session, what do I really need to raise right now?
My worst score, hands down, I don't have a AAA on Naughty Girl. And believe me, it's not from a lack of trying. I've tried it so many times and I cannot get it. Like I'm beyond mind blocked at that first I just can't do it. Like it's just my brain is just bad.
Well, yeah, it's still practice. You'll get it eventually. No Gokun has it. On that topic, I actually haven't put this in the questions, but right now, who do you consider sort of your active rivals for the game?
Well, probably my biggest ones would be like, I like to rival Kev. I like to rival people that are better than me, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
But are within throwing distance. So Kev is kind of like a better version of me at like everything in the game, basically. So I like to rival him. Lobby is absolutely disgusting. Gokun is actually super fucking good. I like to compare my scores with him. So I think actually he's probably the closest at my skill level than like anyone else playing right now.
Yeah, he's gotten disgustingly good. Like when he sends me scores, I'm like, wow, all right, that's kind of gross.
Yeah. Like I mean, he's really good at easy stuff like me, and he's getting better than me at hard stuff, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, no, he's a great rival for me as well, or was. I don't know, like he's much better than me now. All right, so complementary to 2DX, I know you run an Arson board, so it might be tricky, but have you played BMS in the past?
I have. I mean, I played a little bit Lunatic Grave 2 when I wasn't really playing the game. Like when I was kind of in my hiatus time, like I bust out my KOC with the crappy USB PS2 converter thing.
Oh yeah.
And played some Lunatic Grave 2, and it was terrible. It was a laggy converter and sucked.
Oh yeah. Have you tried with the DAO recently, like any of the hunt stuff?
No, I have not gotten to Lunatic Grave 2 at all. I played a little bit of Bopula, which is like the 2DX hacked BMS thing, but I only played it a little bit. I really need to get back into it. It seems like it might kind of revitalize playing hard stuff for me.
Because it does offer that variety, but at the same time, it's kind of the music genre that you curse and don't want in the game.
Oh shit, yeah, how did I forget Krill? Oh my god, yeah, Krill is definitely one of my biggest rivals. I'm sorry, Krill.
Yeah, it's alright. There's a lot of good players, and that's one thing I've noticed recently, like the skill level of players now, compared to even 3-4 years ago, is just disgustingly good. Like, the standard has raised by so much.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, just going back to when I got Kaiden, I didn't feel like it was really a big deal back then, honestly. Like, but compared to now, like, it's like everyone and their mom has Kaiden, it feels like. Like, there's like people that like just start playing, and it's like 3 days later, oh hey guys, I got Kaiden. Like, what? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I think that Arena was a good addition to the game, because Kaiden is very ambiguous as a rank. It's like, you know how to do Mei, congratulations, here's a rank. Versus Arena, where you can actually see, if you pit this player against the majority of players around their level, are they better or worse? So it's a much better indicator of someone's overall skill. If you see someone's A1, it's just like, holy crap, that person's disgustingly good. Or anyone in the A level is just like, alright, that's an incredible player. Whereas, you know, Kaiden, you're just like, oh, okay, cool, they're Kaiden. Just whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I remember when I got Kaiden, it was like there were barely anyone in the 2DX Discord that had Kaiden. It was like maybe like a dozen, less than 2 dozen. Now it's like there's like 40 of them. It seems like it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of them now. But once again, it just the ranking itself has sort of lost prestige. Like, look at most of the top rankers; they don't give a shit about it. Like, Kaiden really doesn't mean much nowadays. It's like that participation trophy. That's the congratulations, you've played Mei enough to get this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely kind of felt like I was a little ahead on the curve on that one. Like, I did not give 2 shits about Kaiden, honestly. Like, when I was playing Pendule, like, I didn't care about playing this stupid course, Force non-ran, where you had to play on this stupid life bar that doesn't exist anywhere else in the game. It's like, what's the point of this? Like, so like, I just played the game for the longest time without even worrying about Kaiden. And like, I remember I triple-A'd Exousia, and like, I was still 10 Dan, and I'm like, alright, I think it might be time that I probably try to just get Kaiden out of the way.
Yeah, sounds about right. Alright, one thing I've got on the list here, because we're running a bit short on time, we've got like 2 minutes left of the normal interview block. Did you ever consider doubles?
I played it a little bit when we had our machine, but I mean, I didn't really get that into it. I mean, I can't really play, I only have 1 controller, so it's kind of hard to play doubles.
Oh, yeah.
If I had 2, I would definitely probably play.
Yeah. Because, I mean, even when I had the cab, I never actually touched doubles, which people lambasted me for. Because it's like, how could you? So I was just curious if you'd ever given it a go. Different game entirely, but yeah. Is it something you'd be interested in doing in future? So maybe if you got a bit stellar singles?
Yeah. I mean, if I had a second controller, I'd probably dabble in doubles right now. I mean, it just seems fun and kind of it would help me kind of learn some one-hand chord patterns that might help me be able to do some scratch stuff.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. All right, and final thing on this list, I just wanted to give you the open mic and ask you, because there's a lot of players here that, you know, often come onto the Facebook or the Discord and ask for advice. As a player who's been playing, you know, more than 15 years now, like me, what advice would you give to players now, being in the position you are, coming from the place you were? Like, what sort of advice would you give to keep improving?
I mean, I think that just don't put, like, high expectations on yourself based on other people. A lot of people seem to do that, like, oh, I need to get Kaiden by this time next year or something like that. And I just think that's just a dumb mindset, to be honest. Like, I mean, just play the game. Like, when you put those kind of expectations on yourself, it seems like you're treating it more like a job than like a game. Like, it's a game. You're supposed to have fun playing the game. And like, I don't know. I think people should try to balance scoring and clearing a little more. I mean, I know that you can make the argument either way, but personally, I have way more fun scoring than clearing.
Yeah, and you know, each to their own. Everyone's got their own take on the game, but it is good to have that healthy balance because there's so much complexity. You can focus on one area or the other. Like, you don't have to just focus all of your time on one thing, like on clearing, because I mean, if you do that, you know, your scoring does suffer, or vice versa. You know, there are people who could beat me on 10s and 11s, but couldn't clear 12s. So. Right,
and I mean, I think honestly, it's more embarrassing when you're the guy that can like full combo stuff with Bs than the guy that's tripling stuff with fails. Like, yeah. I'd much rather triple and fail something than be the full combo god that can't get a P grade to save his life.
Exactly.
Hopefully no one takes that too seriously.
Yeah. Alright, well, good advice. Definitely something that people should heed. The other thing I wanted to ask here, because I just have two final things. Are you playing any other music games aside from 2DX at the moment, or is it still just primarily 2DX?
Yeah, it is only 2DX. I have no other controllers for any other games. To me, Jubeat is still like a new Bamani game. Like, I never played Jubeat, I've never played Sound Vortex, like, never played Gitadora, whatever else. The game looks like a washing machine, I haven't played that.
Alright. So.
Yeah, I mean, I really, like, I played DDR. I got into Pump for a while. When I wasn't playing 2DX, I played Pump for a while. I missed Drum Mania. Drum Mania was super fun. I'd love to play Gitadora.
Yeah, so, I mean, if there is a round one, hopefully you can get back into those, especially DDR, because we got DDR Ace here and I've been playing a little bit, but it's pretty good. But you're
I'm not gonna lie, I have like no desire to play DDR anymore. Like, yeah. After Pump, like, Pump just made me realize that DDR kind of sucks. Like, Pump just, like, everything about Pump, it just flows so much better than DDR. Like, crossing over in DDR feels so contrived compared to Pump. Like, Pump, it just flows so nice, and DDR is just like...
Yeah, I can actually second that, because I played Pump. I've got a Pump machine 2 minutes from my house. So, yeah. Going from that to DDR, I was like, oh man, this is so clunky in comparison. You feel like you're, I don't know, shuffling around awkwardly versus Pump, where, as you said, it flows. So...
Yeah, especially doubles. Like, the difference between DDR doubles and Pump doubles is just night and day.
Yeah. No, they did nail it with Pump, I will admit that. But, yeah, you'll also, as I was trying to say before, you'll hate the new song list, because, like, every song you hate from 2DX is basically the standard DDR song list. So...
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You'll probably notice that. Okay, final thing here. So just taking away from 2DX, so aside from when you're playing, is there any other games that you're really invested in at the moment?
Not really, honestly. Like, I was playing PUBG for a while, but that is just a steaming pile of shit. Like, it's just so bad. Just keeps getting worse and worse. Like, it's to the point where it's almost unplayable now.
Yeah.
When I wasn't playing 2DX, I played TF2 for a while. Like, almost all the years when I wasn't playing 2DX, I was playing TF2. I kind of got into the competitive community a little bit, but kind of when I started getting into it is when I learned about peace and everything, and that's when I was like, fuck this game, I'm playing 2DX.
Alright, well, it sounds like 2DX is your main go-to game, which is a fantastic thing. Alright, I'm out of questions, so thank you so much. I'm now going to turn it to the chat. Chat, if you have any questions for Man-Party / the Shoop, post them in the chat and we'll just go through them. Before we continue with that one though, I did want to ask you on top of that, how much are you playing nowadays? Like, because getting 98s is disgusting and you've got 230 of them. How much are you playing now?
Honestly, I've been playing a little less than I normally have been. I've just been I've kind of hit a wall with 12s right now, and it's just kind of been a little demotivating. And I've gone through the whole song list. Like, I've raised almost everything to the point where, like, it's not really easy to get a lot of raises for me anymore.
Yeah.
And, like, I really need to kind of sit down and fix my playstyle and, yeah, just kind of help me make progress at 12s again.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so we've got one question. Want a party? Question mark.
Every day.
Did you put it in the song list? I'm actually going through the song list.
I did. Now. Yeah, I did. It was in there.
It's not there.
I'm pretty sure. What? Yeah, it is.
Okay, well, we're up to a Slake song at the moment, so I don't know. Maybe it's coming up later. Are you going to Raj in the Garage this year?
Ooh, I'm not sure. Like, I might. The problem is, like, it's happening in the wintertime, and, like, you just don't know what to expect. Like, because if I went there, I'd drive, and I would have to drive through the whole Midwest to get there. And if the weather sucks, then I'm like, okay, this is awful. I think I'd probably plan more on going to the big deal, the next big deal, than to go to Garage, honestly.
Oh, alright. Well, there you go. There's your answer. What note skin do you use, mostly?
Oh, I use Photon.
Photon. So you don't use the default?
Oh, no. I can't even play the default anymore. It feels so weird to me now.
What about the lane flare? Do you use standard or short?
Short, definitely. The standard looks super weird as well.
Yeah.
Like, playing with standard note skin and standard flares, it doesn't. It feels so wrong now.
It's funny because Gokran came here 2 days ago to play, and I have the standard flare, and he couldn't play. It's like, it's almost unplayable. So I don't know. Like, I just got used to it. I've never had an issue with it. But yeah, for people who've gotten used to the short, I can understand entirely. All right. So next question: how did the name Man Party come about?
It's a really unexciting story. I was being a shithead on an online game, and I changed my name to Partyman42, and then someone tried to kick me, so I changed my name to ManParty24. And then, like, the people I was playing the games with at the time all thought that was hilarious, and, like, for whatever reason, it just stuck. So, yeah.
Now, previously, did you go by Modarius in like?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
That was
So why didn't you stick to Modarius?
I may have gotten banned from somewhere under that name, so I changed it. I went incognitus for a little while.
Oh yeah.
That, and when I came back to the community, I didn't recognize anyone for the most part, so I was like, who cares? Like, no one's gonna recognize me if I went by my old name anyways.
Yeah, fair enough. What do you think of Cinnabuzz's best and worst songs?
Fuck. What songs are on that mix?
On Cinnabuzz?
Ah, shit. Let me look at the song list, actually.
Yeah, you might have to have a check. I really like Cinnabuzz, by the way. Like, from what
I like it a lot.
From what I've seen in Cannonballs, not a huge fan. Like, the the song list of Cannibals doesn't wow me too much, especially with the previews in Infinitus.
Yeah.
Oh my god, why did they pick those two songs? Like, you've seen me playing Infinitus, you know how they've got, what was it, Be a Hero and that God Prim song. Like, of all the songs to pick, why would you pick those two?
Yeah, I don't know why they picked those. Those are bad. But as far as songs I don't like, that stupid, dishwasher song, the 11 that's like 210 BPM, with a god-awful roll at the end. God, I hate that one. As far as songs I like, I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Like, yeah. I really like This Is Not the Angels. That's a really cool song.
Fantastic song.
God, there's a lot of them that are really good. Hades is super hype. I love Hades. Beat Juggling Mix is super cool. I really like that song. Not very good at the chart, but I love it. Beyond the Seven's really cool.
Yeah. Anything else noteworthy in there? Or is that sort of...
Yeah. I mean, Surf on the Light's awesome. It was really cool that Mr. T got another song, and I mean, not that he made it for it, but it's cool that he has some representation again.
Oh, that's good. Alright, we'll keep moving because I'm getting this huge backlist. What was the first level 12 that you had cleared that took you a long time to clear?
Oof. Man,
Is there one that really frustrated you, where you were just like, I cannot get this?
I mean, Nageki back in the day, like, it was so rough, like, getting through the denim part, and then getting through the 24th shitfest part, and then even having life at the end, and then just getting screwed over by the end denim part. Yeah, Nageki was a huge pain in the ass for me. I mean, May of course was too.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Would you use SRAM on Thunderhouse Nation Black?
What? No. Why would I do that? I mean, I could see it, honestly. I'm not to that point. Like, that song just, like, halfway through the song, I'm doing awesome. And then once the stamina kicks in, like, where I'm like, I kind of run out, like, it just goes straight downhill. Nice. Like, if I could keep up the whole time, I could get, like, a AAA plus 200 and something, but it's just halfway through, I just shit out.
Yeah, you crap out. Me too. I understand that. Question from Lane. Are you a gorilla?
You tell me, Lane.
Here's a good one. What are your impressions on Infinitus? You know I play it quite a bit. I stream it. What do you think so far from what I've shown you?
It's actually better than I thought it was. Like, it's not terrible. It's kind of annoying that you have to pay monthly, and then have to fucking play so much to unlock all those songs. And if you don't unlock it in time or whatever, you lose them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be a lot worse. And it's a hell of a lot better than playing on the CS versions.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 324 songs, which is way better than anything on CS now.
Yeah, and it's really annoying that they haven't updated it from, like, the spot engine, so you still don't have RRAN. That's really lame, honestly.
Yeah, they need to update it. I don't know why they haven't done the Cannonballs overhaul, because then the audio would not be shit, and the timing would actually be good. But, oh well. You know, we can't all have nice things, you know. As Gokran puts it quite frequently, it's just been running by a hamster, which they feed occasionally. So, yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Next question. Worst level 12. What do you think is the worst 12 in the game?
I mean, fucking beachside and long train running. I mean, God, just throw them into the sea. Get them out of here.
How did you feel when you got your AAA on Schlong?
My problem with every scripted was like every scripted song, I would get like AAA minus X. Like, I was one digit away from a AAA multiple times before I got any of them. Scripted A Black, Schlong. So by the time I got it, I was like, oh, fucking finally. I wasn't really that happy. I was just like, oh yeah, I should have gotten this like the past 3 times I played it.
Yeah, shit's finally over now. That's basically been how Kaiden was with everyone. How did you feel about the difficulty progression on your first PS2 2DX game? So that was 10th, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good for me at the time because I was. I mean, I wasn't that great then. I was playing like level 8 to 10. So I mean, there was plenty of stuff to help progress through those difficulties. So it was a lot of fun, honestly. I really liked the difficulty progression. I feel like CS isn't so bad until you get to really... If you get stuck at 11s, it kind of sucks, or if you get stuck at the harder 12s, it really sucks.
Yeah. I think 10 had a good variety in it, like, from what I remember. It had a nice progression up. So sort of, you know, there was stepping stones in each difficulty to get to where you wanted to get. So, yeah, 10th it wasn't too bad. When you look at like 7th or 6th, that was just laughable. It's just like,
yeah,
you know, moderate stuff than everything else.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about RN and Legacy Note?
I really like RN. It's really nice for a lot of charts. A lot of charts with those stupid... We used to call them sandwich patterns back in the day, the 1-7-3-5. Like the V patterns.
Yeah.
It's really great for any song with those. Legacy Note, I abuse it, but I don't think it should save. Like, I mean, since it saves, I will abuse it on stuff like Almagest, and I've used it on Diamond Crossing to get my AAA. But yeah, I don't think it should save. I think that Konami should change that, honestly.
Yeah. It seems a bit unfair to let a score save that removes like one of the major challenges of a chart. Like,
right, yeah. Especially for something like Almagest, like, because overall it really doesn't have that many charge nodes,
no,
so it makes it just considerably easier to AAA.
It does. It really does. Well, here's an interesting thing. What motivates you to keep playing the game?
Honestly, my own progression was really motivating me. It's like for years I just kept getting better and better. My timing kept getting better. I kept getting better at harder stuff. I was getting better at charge notes. These days, it's more of my rivals kind of motivating me. Like seeing Krell and Gouken posting these ridiculous scores make me like, shit, I want to get ridiculous scores.
Yeah. No, well, you definitely are getting some ridiculous scores, because when I see you post, I'm just like, oh, that's disgusting.
Thanks, man.
What are your opinions on charts like Hell or Hell, where you've got Hell charge notes and scratches in one chart? I
don't know. I don't hate it. I kind of like Hell or Hell more than most of the really scratchy charts, because it's... I just want the scratch charts to have a little more variance. Or when they get really scratchy and technical with the scratches, I'd rather them not be super note heavy. Which Hell or Hell, I haven't played it a lot, but I don't remember it being super note heavy during the heavy scratch stuff. I mean, there's the weird charge notes, which totally sucks when you get like a 2, you get to hold 2 and you get to scratch at the same time. But
yeah,
I like it. It's all right.
That's good. Someone having a bit of a cry over the Safari. Do you think the Safari should burn in hell forever or be removed from 7th Dan?
What?
A lot of people
love the Safari.
A lot of people get blocked by the Safari though from getting 7th Dan. It's like the big hurdle. So,
I feel that people should put so much less weight on the Dan courses. Just play the songs. Just play the songs with random. And once you play enough with random and you learn more patterns and things like that, like, the Safari is really trivial. And it's only sucks because the non-ran chart is terrible. Yeah. Isn't it like 1-2 rolls for the little burst parts?
I think so, yeah. It's a disgusting non-ran chart.
Yeah, don't blame the Safari, blame stupid Dan courses.
Alright, follow-up question from Lane. Are you going to Africa?
Yeah. I'm going right now. As soon as the interview's over, I'm on my way.
More serious question. What's your number one warm-up song? What's your go-to to warm up for a session?
I've been playing that stupid... I don't even know the name because it's so long, like the London Beckons Yellow Papers, whatever
London
thing.
Affairs. It's such a good song.
Yeah.
I love
It's
that
such
song so much.
it's like the perfect warm-up too. There's just a lot of 16th notes, 150. It's nice for warming up. I really like that to warm up. I pretty much always pick something that's around 150 to warm up. I never go into like the 180s until I've played like 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Good choice, I reckon. Like, I normally do... What do I choose? I go by difficulty. I normally go something that's like an 8 or a 9. I was going to say 7.
Yeah.
I hardly touch that.
Yep. I always start in 8s. Sometimes I'll start in 9s, but yeah, usually 8s.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, there was actually a good question. I've lost it. Oh, here we go. What kind of theme do you think the next 2DX is going to have? Because, I mean, we've got ninjas to car races.
It's probably going to be some really out there thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this one is kind of straightforward with the cars, but the next one's probably going to be some super odd thing like space-time mix, time travel mix. I don't fucking know. I guess Pendulum
like
did that.
What sort of theme would you like for 2DX to have?
Honestly, how DDR did that throwback one, like the whatever DDR versus second style or second mix. I'd love something like 2DX like that, like some throwback thing where you could play like A style or something like that in the same game.
Well, they've been pushing that sort of in Cinebuzz. You know how they did a lot of the throwback stuff like beat juggling and what was the other one? Like those old style tracks where it sort of like took from older style charts. I thought that was really good. So if they did more of that, would that make you happy? Sort of having that sort of older feel.
Definitely, like I would love. Just a style that just has throwback tracks. Like get like another Mr. T song in. Like I mean, I would murder for a new Orange Lounge song.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just like the old kind of hip hop house, like stuff like that. Like good, cool. 2DX really needs more of that for me.
More of the funky sort of stuff. It is missing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What's a feature you think they'll add that no one asked for in 2DX 26?
I mean, I didn't ask for it, but I'm sure there's gonna be more prim and shit like that. I mean, apparently Japan eats that shit up, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They'll probably add some stupid thing.
Yeah. I don't know, like team-based play. You join a guild.
Something like that, yeah.
With your guild, you
like,
go on turf wars with other players. I don't know, like.
Or some more like really noisy MIDI song or something.
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy about that.
Something.
Yeah, Togo Project would be great. Yeah, bring Sana back.
Sana would be good to hear. Okay, I'm trying to think of other things. Yeah, we're all caught up with the questions, which is good. So, I'm trying to think, because we've covered every base, which is good. Oh, here we go. Who do you pick in arena mode if you play okay, is it who or what? Who do you pick in arena mode if you play 2DX AC? Or what would you pick?
I don't know. Like, I mean, if I still knew how to play Daydream, because I probably already forgot how, that would probably be a go-to. I could probably screw people over on that song.
Yeah.
If not that, like, just straightforward, easy timing songs. Something like Wanna, the Good Cool song on Distorted, like, I can that song.
You could crush people on that easily. I don't know anything about this. What do you think of the bingo card feature? What is that?
I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Probably from the Unlock event, which I don't think you've played because you don't play AC. So.
Yeah. I know nothing of that.
Yeah.
Oh, Euro Romance, that's a great one.
Yeah. Why do you play 2DX personally?
I mean, it's just I played it for so long. Like it coming back to the game. Just it felt so good to come back to it. Like I really missed it when I wasn't playing, but it just CS just didn't do it for me. But like being able to play the arcade games at home, like it's just so nice. The music's so good. I have like a nice speaker setup and a subwoofer connected. Like it sounds really good. My scope progression definitely kept me going. I mean, like I always got a sense of satisfaction getting good scores, stuff like that.
Yeah,
definitely helped me.
All right, Lane wants to know the best Slake song in 2DX.
Ooh. Man, that's hard. I really, really like Love is Drowning.
Whoa, really?
Oh yeah, that song's great. Green Eyes is really good. I love What's Next. I wish What's Next would get put into AC.
I hate that song with a passion. I really do. I'm sorry.
I just want to see what people can get on with the chart.
Yeah, it's hard. It is so
messed
hard.
up. Yeah. Yeah, like I have server record on Arcana, and it's only like plus 40 over AAA.
That's hilarious. All right, I don't know what TBD is, but if you go to TBD next year, what would be your pick against DARQs?
Fuck, I don't know. Something stupid and easy, maybe. It all depends, because like I don't know how I'd play on an arcade machine. So if like my timing wasn't the same, I'd probably try to pick something a little harder, maybe like Proof of the Existence. Maybe I'd pick. But if my timing was there, I'd pick something just straightforward and easy, like 511 or Wanna.
Yeah, I think you'd crush me on all fronts at the moment because I'm very retired. So you'd win regardless of what you picked. So someone was describing the bingo system. Basically, it's a master-student thing where the master selects a list of songs, and then the student tries to clear them.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I really like that.
Like, especially if you've got friends who are getting into the game, and you're like, oh, these are some realistic goals they can probably meet.
Yeah. And I mean, I would love to do that because then I could get some of the new gen players to play some old songs too. Because like, there's some new players that like just will not play old songs, and it breaks my heart, man. Like the old songs are just so good, and you refuse to play them.
Okay, two interesting questions here. One, just wondering, have you ever played a musical instrument or had any interest in music production?
I mean, I would like to, but I don't feel skilled in that area. I mean, it'd be pretty uphill battle to kind of learn how to do that stuff. As far as musical instrument, I played the oboe when I was in 4th grade. I played it for a year and I hated it. I don't remember how I played the oboe. Like, who the fuck plays the oboe?
And here's a bit of a random one, but what was the most random thing you've ever done in 2DX AC?
On actual arcade, I mean, I never did anything good. Like, I remember there was a tournament that we had, and actually, I was actually playing against V-Game T. He came down to this tournament. It was so bad. There was no turnout. I felt so bad for them coming out. But I played, and I picked Love Me Do against him, and I got like a mid-A on it. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this song, and I don't know what the hell happened, but like I just could not figure out the timing. But then I somehow, like, he picked More Move, and like I never even played the song, and I like crushed it. It was kind of weird.
Oh, okay. How many people were at that tournament, out of curiosity?
Oh my god, like 15 max, maybe.
Still a decent turnout. 15's not bad.
I don't even know. Actually, 15 is probably being pretty generous. It was probably closer to 12, maybe like barely over 10.
It's still, you know, like it's a tournament turnout at least. So
I mean, that's just all the people that came. Like,
yeah.
as far as 2DX, I mean, there's probably only 8 people that.
Oh, I thought you meant the 2DX turnout was.
Oh no,
I was like, wow, that's
like,
decent.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that good.
Okay, I'm gonna skip Chris's question because I don't bully you, Chris. Don't give me that crap. Most recent accomplishment you're proud of?
Actually, I triple-A'd just a little smile recently, and for how bad I am at scratching, I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different accomplishment that I normally get, so it kind of felt pretty good.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, by the way, Fantasy's playing in the background, so would have said.
Oh, the best.
Alright, good question. How do you cope with the frustration of doing a bad session? Or how do you cope with frustration during a bad session?
Not well. I get frustrated, like, I want to, like, punch stuff. Like, I wish I had, like, a punching bag next to my setup. Like, sometimes I get pretty heated when I'm doing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of, if it's really bad, I usually try to play through it and hope that it gets better. Yeah. If it doesn't get better after like half an hour, I usually just say screw it and just go back to my computer and play something on there or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Do you do any sort of hand exercises before you start playing? Like, do you stretch your wrists or anything?
No, I really don't. For a while, when I went to 1048, I would kind of just do rolls with my left hand. Like, I would anchor on my thumb and do like thumb index rolls and thumb middle finger rolls. Just kind of loosen up my fingers a little bit. Just kind of make the movements feel more natural.
Oh, yeah.
I feel it kind of helped kind of ease the transition, I guess.
Yeah, I found that too. Like, I'd tap on my steering wheel in 1048 just to get comfortable with it. Have you injured yourself playing the game? Like, if you had any wrist pains or anything like that?
Not really. Playing like something like Beachside a bunch of times in a row, like my hand will kind of hurt, but it's not like a prolonged thing. I just don't play for a couple of minutes. I feel fine.
Oh yeah, not bad. Okay. So where do you see 2DX go in the future? Will it die or live?
I mean, I'd like to see it live, but Konami is Konami. You just any moment they could just get chopped. Like, you just never know.
We're sitting on a ticking time bomb, unfortunately. You just
right,
don't know.
yeah.
Like, they could go any direction. That hamster could die at any minute, and then Infinitus will be gone.
I'd love to see it get to 30. Like, getting to 30 would be awesome. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more, really.
We're going to have to cut the questions in like 3 or 4 just because this is running pretty long, and I'm sure John's got other things he needs to do. Coffee or tea?
Beer.
Beer, as you've been drinking tonight. Your casual
a little bit.
Here's an interesting question. Do you drink when you play at all?
Actually pretty often. Like, I don't get like super hammered or anything, but I'll have a few beers while I play. Kind of loosens me up and kind of makes me put less into it. Well, not really less into it, but have less expectations, I guess.
Yeah, I know, like, I've had 1 or 2 and then played, and I found it does help, because it does loosen you up.
Yeah, definitely.
After 3 or 4, I don't know if you ever watched that stream of me and Gokun drinking a 6-pack each and playing for like an hour and a half. Oh,
no, I didn't see that.
That went downhill very quickly. What about a difficulty change scale? Would you be interested in that?
I see no reason why not, honestly. I mean, like, the difference between the easiest 12 and the hardest 12 is like the difference between like a 1 and a 12 almost. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like there needs to be some sort of segregation, but even then, people are going to complain, so...
Right, and it's just so weird to me that anyone would have a problem with that, because I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure some of the difficulties wouldn't be right out off the bat, but it's like, Poppin' goes to 50 or whatever it goes to now. Like, Drum Mania always went from 1 to 100. Like,
yeah,
like, why does 2DX only go to a 12? There's like, how many songs now?
Yeah, It should be on a bigger scale, honestly. It's just...
Yeah.
The categories are too big. You've got way too many songs in each category.
Right. I think that people only care that they don't think it should change because they know the scale, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that there's all these community scales, like what was it? Like Click Again and 2DX12, whatever. Like, where it just kind of... There's, like, the tiers and everything.
Yeah.
I mean
that's what it ultimately comes down to, though. It comes down to user-based rating, because at the end of the day, difficulty is subjective. There's going to be people who are better at some things and not as good at other things, right? Like, I'm sure for you, you'd say that the Scratch songs are a hell of a lot harder than Quell.
Right, yep.
So, yeah. Actually,
I agree with Goken. I think you should get interviewed by Goken. That would be the greatest thing.
We can make it happen. If he wants to do it, we can make it happen.
Yes.
Final thing, I'll leave it on this because we are sort of dragging for time here and I don't want to keep you too long. Who would you like to see interviewed next if we keep this interview series going?
Well, during the interview, I got messaged by the one and only Loco Voto requesting that I request that he gets interviewed next. Take that as you will.
Yeah.
I would like to see, I mean, Dotface would be great. Like, he would be a great interview. Like, he would have awesome answers. He has great stories. I mean, there's so many good players that have already been interviewed, like Krell and Goken, they've already been interviewed. Kev would be great. V-Game T.
Yeah.
He'd be a really good one. Maybe someone that's just not... Someone that's not necessarily, like, super high tier would be alright, too. Like,
yeah.
I mean... I wouldn't mind seeing like a Chris interview or a Lane interview. Like, I mean, they're both actually really good, though.
Yeah. No, I would be interested in doing those as well. One person's mentioned Aquaz or Abby. I am in touch with Abby.
Yeah, definitely.
So it'd be interesting to hear about Taiwan, because no one's really heard about the Taiwan scene at all. So that would be one that would be interesting, I think. The other one that I was thinking of was Rocha, if I could get in contact with her.
That would be great.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'll have a think about it. We'll see if I can get something organised in the upcoming weeks. I do have holidays coming up. But thank you so much for joining us tonight for the interview.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me. It was a really good time. Yeah, just going back to the whole interview thing, I mean, if you could keep the interview thing going up, kind of keep this, like, if this could be a thing to make happen more regularly, that would be great.
I'll try my best. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But that's it for now. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in and watching. The VOD will go up, and I'll post it out on all respective social medias. But yeah, it's been super fun. So
yeah, awesome. Thanks for listening to me say things.
That's good. All right, peace out, guys. I'll see you guys in the next interview or the next stream. I'll probably do a stream in 2 or 3 days, and we'll catch up then.
Well, see you guys.